Good evening. My name is Ryan Olivos, and today's topic is the psychological tactics in marketing. Subtitle is The Dark Psychology in Marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're facing dark times, and we don't even see it, as we're blind by the big corporations being mind controlled, like zombies just doing what we're told without even thinking. And you guys even picture that? We all have fallen for these marketing tactics, including myself. Fortunately, I was buying too. I couldn't see why and how big corporations were so successful, and now I can see it ever clearer than crystal water. They use psychology or in order to control what we think, need, and want anything. When we don't need at all, we won't be blind anymore. I will take the veil that has blinded us all the entire time, which will shine some light on the true reality of the world we live in. The main points that I will be discussing on this speech is how they use celebrities, influencers, social media to control the public, how to fight against it, the big corporation after overriding the mind control, and finally be able to break the cycle of the influence in order to enter to a new era of change. So let's enter to the wall's mouth. The way celebrities and social media use marketing to influence or control the public or followers, you can see it. They have a lot of influence. One of the main and most obvious marketing tactics used by corporations and companies are the industries involving clothing, makeup. The influence comes from the celebrity or a well-known figure to the public that has most likability with an ideal body that will make any other person feel inferior. How many people have you? Maybe most of us, which make us the followers lower to themselves, that we lose confidence. And it's not just me, it's a lot of large groups of people. And I'm not just exaggeration. It's like they think like their body is the ideal body, but in true reality, it's not. They're the big companies. That's what they want. They want us. They want to make those idols, which influence the public and the in our perspective. They see those celebrities in TV or in social media, taking pictures of of themselves and showing that they're better because they look more better and apparently their body is you know the perfect body. You can see in shampoos, makeup, and clothing. Another way that I see things is in the alcohol and the beer industry. They're traditional. It shows traditional, and when it comes to marketing, so British commercials, from branded beers. I cannot say names, of course, but apparently in the commercials we see how they put irresistible women, to which you know conveys a good time, which of course that's a lie. We can all see that. Not everyone that drinks has a great time, especially when people have problems, mental problems, and they can't control their alcoholism. Of course, they will mention that, and not only that, but after drinking so many beers, you high levels of intoxications, you can do things that you will regret. You can harm people that you love, or worse, while you drive, you can hurt someone and cause a fatal accident. That's sad. The beauty industry creates an illusion that is not attractive or acceptable, which creates an insecure atmosphere within groups of people with high beauty standards to strive towards the unrealistic beauty standards so that these cosmetic companies can keep selling their desired products to further contribute the beauty illusion. As stated in the article, how the beauty industry exploits your insecurities, the beauty industry creates unrealistic beauty standards because they know you can never live up to them. And that is true. You can see all these young ladies breaking their heart because they feel ugly and they use makeup in order to feel better about themselves, but that's not how it works. What makes you perfect, it's yourself. You don't need someone else to tell you what it is. So we need a desire, we need a desire for the public change to people feel attractive with themselves, to feel confident instead of being influenced by these big companies that created the judgmental atmosphere. We as the public cannot allow for these big corporations and companies to control us any longer. We are stronger than them as a unit, which will allow us to make difference this to happen. To illustrate our power of union separately, we're all single grains of sand, easily gusted by the winds of influence. But once we come together to power ourselves, and I've said that together we will be support ourselves just as sand and dune support and prevent harsh waves of influence on the land of the just like the beach. The best way to fight against the harmful influence of big companies marketing is by creating conscious rationally within ourselves and realize that the exaggerated marketing disorders or irrational judgment is wrong. And we must open our eyes to the parasitic intentions big companies have when marketing products that do real harm to us and our loved one. It takes one to realize the harm from these products and what it does to our bodies in everyday life. There have been campaigns against certain products and ways of change of living to meet easier ways of living, where we can start by collecting signatures for new reforms greater than good living in healthy conditions starting from natural resources. A nice support an article from successful change org petition started when Texas mom Bettina Signal started her change.org petition in 2012 asking the USDA to stop using pink slime in school food, and she didn't even expect to get 1,000 signatures. 9 days, and in 9 days they collected 2,500 200,558 87 signatures later. The USDA agreed to offer schools a pink slime-free option, a decision with lasting ramifications for the beef industry. Beef Products Incorporation, the leading of us producers of pink slime, claimed the media for around sigil petition caused a close three of its four plants and lay off 650 people. So it's possible, people. It's possible to create a change, especially if we can get those signatures. We can make a change. Due to the hierarchy created by the big company, there has been a social status placed by the big companies to the regions of financial power, placing the big company at the top. Therefore, we must understand that fancy materialistic earnings, which made the ideal from these companies created by financial segregation of Ideal life consisting of model cars, makeup, fancy clothes, and expensive equipment. Throughout the years, there, there has been ways to have any sufficient lifestyle without the extra unnecessary fear overspending when we fall for the traps or attempting to climb the social ladder. We tend to get self-conscious and we don't want to be considered show-offs. And must remember to be humbler. Avoiding showing off will affect a lot of the sales of the big companies to reduce their power. They claim to hold us through materialistic gains. If the 1% that are the top of the social ladder along with the big companies because they realize that the shortcut that these companies use without falling into the depths of unethical greed could help the poor. We will have a stronger fighting chance of making greater difference of reducing the power from these big companies and it will help a lot of the people. The following support article, the richest won back nearly as much as the rest of the world put together over the past 2 years, said, according to the new analysis of the Fight Inequality Alliance Institute for Policy Studies of Oxfam and patriotic millionaires, an annual wealth tax of 5% on the world's multimillionaires and billionaires could raise up to 1.7 trillion a year, enough to lift 2 billion people out of poverty, fully fund the shortfalls and existing humanity appeals. Deliver a 10-year plan to end hunger, support poorer countries being revenged by climate impacts, and deliver universal health care and social protection for everyone living in low and lower middle income countries. Those emphasis on that unethical big companies do not have the complete control over everyone as just mentioned in the article, that there's still humanity left in the top tier of the social ladder to help those that are supporting at the bottom. There's a new hope. The overall vision that we all be striving for the reduce of the increasing earnings of the big companies, a world where regular people can feel special and be respected as individuals. We all want that. The benefits that we will have being greater than what our minds can comprehend, we will get rid of major poverty and you will be less likely to see homeless and disposable folks in the street. Depression and insecurities will be almost extinct and confidence will be achieved faster than ever. Imagine you just walk out of your house, the air is fresh, you see the birds singing, and you on your way to work on your car, you know, no one really has that fancy car that we all want. And while you're driving, see a commercial sign, and then you see yourself, promoting some comfy pants. That'll be nice. We all will want that. We all will feel special after that. And then you keep driving, and boom, you see your best friend drinking a juice, making a juice commercial. You'll be like, wow, that's someone I know. It's not a nobody. That's someone you know. That's what we want. And then you're fascinated what you have seen, and before you get to work, you see that the tents from homeless people are gone, and all those people that were just in the streets begging for money just to eat something, just to keep their tummies full. They're not there anymore. You see them working happily in a store without having to worry about money, without having to be like, what am I gonna do the next day to survive? It almost looks like we just created a utopia. That's what we're shooting for. The change that we can make is fascinating. But of course, we have to start from the bottom. That's how everything starts. From the bottom, and then we go to the top. Then to conclude this amazing speech, let's go to the cherry of the pie. Therefore, some of the main highlights to take from the supporting articles throughout the points of the dark marketing tactics used by the big companies is to start off realizing to love one of self, a way that we don't abide by unrealistic beauty standards set up by idols that work for the big companies by acknowledging that these toxic behaviors and products have harmful side effects. We must try to create healthier ways of living with strong, helpful impacts. This test to the rest of the public. The way we can reduce the constant flow of the power, money, and influence these big companies have one public, especially the lower income group. The best way to support the lower income group is through the generosity of the high income group to establish the rest of the public that is set below poverty level to even the social hierarchy due to this exaggerated stretch of social class due to financial success. Ultimately, there has been various attempts to combat the unethical dark marketing tactics and products that have harshly influenced to the public and followers and mother trends, realizing that we must rewire our brains from the constant brainwash of dark marketing from the big companies that strive to get ahead of everyone so they can flaunt their power, control and influence the less fortunate. We must strive to continue the spread the open perspectives of what dark marketing have in effect on innocent people so that the way we can continue from to combat petitions and act the actual making changes to take back our energy and power from the big companies that took it without permission and used against us. The time will come once more, as in the past, to fight for the soul of our society. The only way to truly fight is to treat fairly our most vulnerable folks. As only empathy can bring us our society to heal. This is their responsibility, and it's your responsibility. And it is my responsibility. God bless America.